Coming up on First at 4, some much needed money coming to 3 Eastern Kentucky groups, how the grants will be used to help. Plus, it's National Crash Responder Safety Week, how Kentucky State Police are working to keep first responders safe on the roads.
Plus, we are tracking warmer weather for midweek. The details on above average temperatures coming up as Mountain News First at 4 starts now.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News First at 4.
Good afternoon, I'm Steve Hensley. First at 4, Kentucky will once again have a new Attorney General heading into the new year. Russell Coleman will take over the reins of the office from Daniel Cameron next year. Today, Coleman announced the men and women who will assist in the transition. WYMT's Phil Pendleton has more from Frankfort.
Russell Coleman was elected the state's 52nd Attorney General a week ago today, and he says there will now be a transitioning from the office led up by Daniel Cameron to the one headed up by him. And he says a lot of people from all walks of life, from one corner of the state to the other, will be assisting him in that process. 26 men and women make up the transition team appointed by the Attorney General-elect. Coleman says they make up what his priorities will be in focusing on the drug epidemic, violence in Louisville, and what he calls the negative agenda coming in from the nation's capital. He says the criminal aspect of the office will target 4 areas: public corruption, better support to county attorneys and prosecutors, violence, and child exploitation and abuse.
And some of the most evil conduct that I have seen as a prosecutor, as an investigator, is what is essentially feels like a war on our kids at times.
In the past several administrations, there has been a attorney general from one party and a governor from the other. And that is the case this time as well. But Coleman says that he does look forward to collaborating with the governor. He says he congratulated Andy Beshear on his win. In Frankfort, Phil Pendleton, now back to you.
The Attorney General, along with other constitutional officers, will be formally sworn into office in early January. The United States Department of Agriculture Rural Development Office in Kentucky rewarded 3 Eastern Kentucky groups with grant money. 2 Letcher County groups, Fleming Neon City Hall and the ISOM IGA, received some of the money. Both had to rebuild or move locations after the July 2022 flood. Rural Development State Director Tom Carew says they are continuing to find ways to help Eastern Kentuckians.
This is our mission. This is an agency at the Department of Agriculture dedicated to serve rural America, and Letcher County and Perry County and Knott County and all the counties around here are part of rural America, and so we're happy to be fulfilling that mission here.
USDA officials say they are striving for energy efficiency as part of investing. We'll have more on the grant money coming up tonight at 6. This week, Kentucky State Police is teaming up with the Federal Highway Administration to promote National Crash Responder Safety Week. The focus of the week is to bring awareness and work to educate people on how to keep first responders safe on the road when dealing with crashes. Trooper Matt Gayhart of KSP Post 13 said during weeks like this, it's important to understand the risk first responders are taking.
Oftentimes we see throughout the country that first responders are putting their life at risk to clear these collision scenes in a timely manner, oftentimes allowing traffic to flow freely through, which creates a substantial risk to first responders on the side of the road.
The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration reports that every year about 23 roadside workers and first responders are involved in a deadly crash along a road, and hundreds more suffer injuries while tending to traffic incidents. We'll have more on how people can help keep first responders safe tonight at 6.
We are tracking some slightly cooler weather across the mountains on your Tuesday, but that is brief as some more above average high temperatures are on the way by Wednesday, also Thursday. Here's a live look from Buffalo Mountain. Once again, we are dry on your Tuesday under a partly sunny sky, and again a little bit cooler today compared to yesterday. Temperatures right now in the upper 50s and lower 60s, up to 63 for Somerset, also Manchester, 58 for Jackson, 56 over in Pikeville at this hour. So we are looking at some cool and calm conditions in into your Tuesday afternoon. Up on the radar, once again, we are dry under some cloud cover, and that will continue to be the case as we go into this evening. So some more quiet weather is on the way, all thanks to high pressure. If you have those plans to be outdoors this evening, those temperatures back in the upper 40s and lower 50s. And once again, we stay cloudy overnight, waking up in the middle 40s on your Wednesday, but possibly some 70s on the way by Thursday as that fire danger also continues into the middle of this week as more dry weather is on the way thanks to high pressure. But we are tracking a cold front by Friday, so some beneficial rain chances on the way as we enter work week, then turning drier and cooler for this weekend. All those details coming up in just a few minutes. Steve?
All right, Cameron, thanks. Ford employees with United Auto Workers in Louisville voted against ratifying an agreement with the company. Drew Gardner has the details.
Workers at Ford's Louisville assembly plant and Kentucky truck plant made their voices heard Sunday, saying no to Ford's contract offer. The vote was split, with 55% of production workers voting down the deal, while 69% of skilled trade workers approved it.
We're starting now to see our members, get paid for their worth. Right.
UAW Local 862 President Todd Dunn continues to praise the historic contract offer despite these results. Under the deal, Ford employees will see an immediate 11% increase in pay. Hourly pay will jump from $32.05 to $42.60 for assembly line workers and from $36.96 to $50.57 for skilled trade employees. The offer was especially popular among newer and younger employees, but Dunn says some of the older workers wanted more.
Retirees are close to retirement. Myself, we haven't seen an increase in our retirement in almost 20 years. It's been a long time coming.
Less than half of their 12,000 members came out to vote Sunday, which Dunn believes may have been a result of the historic nature of the contract.
I heard more, man, this is so good a contract. I'm good to go. I ain't worried about it's going to pass. But there was just a lot of members that just felt comfortable and relaxed and just didn't get out and vote.
According to union data, the majority of members nationwide who voted on the contract so far have voted to approve it.
By the end of the week, we'll have a contract or won't have a contract, and we'll know. Right now, it looks like the contract's going to pass based upon the law of averages, right? How you're seeing things go. But again, we don't have a crystal ball and can't tell what's going to happen.
The UAW will announce the final status of the tentative agreement with Ford and if it's been ratified after all local unions across the nation have voted. 27 chapters have already voted to approve it. Other chapters have until tomorrow. Coming up on First at 4, time is running out for Congress to avoid a government shutdown this weekend. The new House Speaker's plan to get the job done.
And we stay dry through midweek, but some beneficial rain chances are looming. Those details coming up after this break.